Lately I've been living my life. I don't pay to hate nobody. Doing better things with my time. Yeah. Elevated to a new height. Never do the same thing twice. Putting all the lames on ice. Yeah. I've been sipping on the straight. I ain't got no complaints. CC in the old lane. Eventually they come around. You can say I'm living the dream. All they want is on my team. You ain't gotta check up on me. I got everything that I need. Better things, on you. Everything, better things, better things. Yeah. Better things. Ain't got time for petty things. I'm on better things, yeah. No, it ain't worth my time.
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. By the way, a friend of mine just sent me Vanessa Williams. Actress that became, singer that became a pretty good actress.
She's alright.
I don't think she's a great actress.
Yeah.
She's alright. I've been thinking, like, I can't really think of anybody.
Janelle Monáe. She's incredible.
Janelle is it.
Yep.
She might be the champion.
Yep.
All right, let's jump right into the Raw Report. Andy, let's go. Come on.
You ready?
Come on.
It's the queen of royal badness.
It's time for the Raw Report with Robin Ayers.
Highlighting people and things you should know about.
From entrepreneurs and entertainers to money and meditation.
Robin's got you covered.
Get out of here!
Follow Robin at Robin Ayers. You're listening to the Raw Report on the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580. Robin's got a lot to talk about.
Well, we all remember, I'm sure we all remember this little girl who was introduced to most of us on the Oprah Winfrey Show. Yeah, I'm going to let you take a listen for yourself. I'm sure this clip will sound very familiar to you. Let's take a listen.
When I was born, I was HIV positive. And when I turned 5, I had symptoms of AIDS. I had fungus in my brain, blood infections, pneumonia. I went cold blue a couple of times.
What's the hardest part for you, Hadia?
When your friends die. A lot of my friends that have died of AIDS, no one really knows how long anybody's gonna live because I don't tell myself like, oh, you have AIDS, or I could go outside and get hit by a bus tomorrow, and you never know. If you stay in your bed and feel sorry for yourself and don't get up with the birds and just sit there and say, well, I'm gonna die, why get up and try and make a difference? But when you say, well, today's another day, I can get up, I can do something, make something positive.
Wow. Well, you've seen her alongside, of course, Oprah, Magic Johnson on CNN, BET, various award shows, television appearances. The list goes on and on and on. She is an international HIV and AIDS activist. Please welcome Hadia Broadbent. Hadia, thank you so much for coming on to the Raw Report on the Danny Morrison Show. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's good to hear from you again. I know we spoke a couple of years ago. Maybe it was around this same time. I know that we've just passed on December 1st, World AIDS Day. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. It's been 40 years since the epidemic started, so we were remembering people that we had lost along the way.
You were actually speaking at an event, and I don't know if it was for that. I don't know what the event was, but it was powerful to see you still operating in your purpose. This is your life's work. You've still been out there. You've still been making people aware, still motivating people. This is truly your life's work.
Yeah, God, He gave me a cross to bear, and so I have to wear it every day.
Wow. You know, I'm sitting here with Danny Morrison right now. Danny is the one, and I told you this. He had the clip. We have a little segment that we do called Upon Further Review, where we play certain videos and we talk about it, we break it down. And he had this video clip, the one that I just played, and he didn't know that we knew each other. He didn't know much about your story. He didn't know, anything. Or, am I right, Danny? You can speak to that.
Yeah, I was going down my timeline on Instagram, and somebody posted the video. I don't know who, and I watched it, and I ain't gonna lie, I teared up because to see such a small child take such a burden and willingly listen to the voice of God and say, I'm going to use my pain to empower people. You just don't hear that anywhere. So I just want to give you love and say thank you to you for doing what you do for each community throughout, internationally, the communities throughout this world.
Well, thank you, Danny. And yeah, I guess I was just living in my purpose because I knew that HIV was something that happened to me, but it didn't define who I was as a person. And when I started speaking, I noticed like people were listening up. Because when the epidemic first hit, it was hitting gateway males. And so I had to show people that you can be born with disease and it doesn't make it a sin. Like, because I was just born. I was like an innocent baby.
I'm glad you said that because there is a stigma attached to anyone that becomes HIV positive. Of course, they always tie it to the LGBTQ population, but you can't be born with the disease as well.
No, you can't. And, like, for the record, we have the highest rates among black women right now. So black women have to get tested.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the facts right now, and approximately, and I don't even know if this is the most current, but it's approximately 1.2 million people in the U.S. Have HIV, and about 13% of them don't know that they have it.
Wow.
Which is that's a really scary statistic. But I want you to speak to the fact that it's so different now than what we knew it to be 20, 30 years ago, right? There are different treatments, and I know you're really big on that because you actually you make people aware, idea that basically under treatment it can be, I don't know if undetected is it, and you'll speak to this, but
yeah, it's undetectable.
Yeah.
Undetectable means untransmittable. So I take my medicine and I can have a baby without my baby contracting HIV, and I can prevent my significant other from getting HIV. So you always want to take your medicine and be alert. And if everyone who has HIV took their medicine, we could prevent have no more spread of the HIV virus.
Do you think in our lifetime we will see a cure for HIV/AIDS?
I have no idea. I used to say that when I was younger, but right now, I don't know if we're going to have a cure.
But Hadiya, is it fair to say at this point that you can now live with AIDS rather than die from it here in 2022?
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Because now, and I listening back to this clip that obviously you became so well known from that Oprah interview that you had. And it was heartbreaking to hear you talk about your friends dying. And, and actually I was listening to this book. I don't know if you've heard of it, but it's Billy Porter. And I forgot. I talk about this book a lot because the book is so good.
Every single night, idea.
It is so good. Billy Porter's book is so good. And by the way, he just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. So good for him. But in his audiobook, he was talking about, his entire life. And as he was growing up, the different people and friends that he had, he named a number of friends who had contracted the virus and died ultimately. And that was a recurring theme. And I was just thinking, like, how far we've come. Like you said, Danny, I mean, we're able to live in a generation now where we can say people live with it and not die from it and not expect to die from it. And so I think that's even powerful. Whether we see a cure for it or not, it's very powerful. But what about the stigma? Has the stigma, has that gone down a little bit, or do you think it is still just as prevalent as it once was, Hadiya?
No, I think the stigma is still alive because we don't have people who are talking about it. We don't have people who are educating the community. I date, and so you have to get educated about the virus, because someone's always going to have something nasty to say. It doesn't matter how much work I'm doing, how much preventative work, try to educate people. Somebody's always going to have something negative to say in the back of their mind. And you have to be strong enough to change their mindset.
I have a question about that. So, you know how we're often talking about, like, as Black people, you know, our voices are strong, but we're often wanting other people who are not Black to advocate for us. We're like, your voices are stronger, your platforms are larger, your buying power is stronger. We want people to stand up for us. Do you think that it would be helpful for someone who has a platform but who does not have HIV/AIDS to actually become an advocate for HIV/AIDS? Do you think that would be is that offensive, or is that like more welcomed?
I mean, we have advocates who speak about HIV who are not infected, but I think it really takes the people. I think it takes a majority of Black people to speak up and not be silenced, because when it comes to HIV and AIDS, there's like, oh, I can't talk about HIV because then I'll have it. And it's not like that.
Right.
So I think it really takes people to be empowered to really communicate, talking about HIV without the stigma.
Can I just say, you still sound like that little girl that was on Oprah? You still, that's what I'm picturing in my head. That same little girl sitting there talking to us right now.
I love that. When we come forward, we're going to continue this conversation with Hadiya Broadbent. She is an international HIV/AIDS activist. Wow. I mean, she's still doing it, y'all. She's still doing it big, and she's still making people aware. She's out here living her best life, too. And we're going to talk some more about that and what you're up to on the other side. So you guys just stay right there. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles.
From middays to nighttime.
Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580. Ho, ho, ho. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy holiday and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefit concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Three-time WNBA champions, the Los Angeles Sparks, jump into their 27th season this summer with the most games ever in league history. This historic 40-game season means more world-class play in a city where the party never stops. Get connected to an unforgettable experience and secure your seats now at lasparks.com/tickets.
The Institute for Diversity Certification is all about the 3 Ds: dedication, determination, and discipline. Learn more about our globally recognized diversity certification program today by calling 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192, or visit diversitycertification.org. As the #1 organization for certified diversity professionals and also certified diversity executive credentials, diversitycertification.org will provide an opportunity for you to demonstrate dedication to the field, determination to make progress, and more discipline to your process. Go today and learn more about the diversity certification system. Call 1-800-983-6192. Again, 1-800-983-6192. Or go to diversitycertification.org. That's diversitycertification.org. The standard of excellence, equity, diversity, and inclusion.
KBLA Talk 1580, putting the spotlight on culture and community. The Rodney King Foundation works in the community to promote positive race relations and achieve social justice. The foundation provides advocacy, educational scholarships, and the powerful Walk in Love initiative. The Rodney King Foundation seeks a world of hope, tolerance, and social justice, where divisiveness has been overcome and all people live together peacefully and harmoniously. Executive Director, founder Laura King is striving to enhance the community's self-esteem, health, social services, and social justice locally and worldwide. The foundation is dedicated to continuing the message of Laura's father, the great Rodney King, to promote peace and hashtag get along. For more information, please visit rodneyking.org or call 626-541-2907. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
And our engaging conversation with Hydea inside the Rob Report continues.
Yeah, Danny actually wanted to chime on in and ask you a couple of questions as well.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you, with all due respect, and I want to be, as sensitive as possible about asking, because I watch Magic Johnson, and they say they can't even detect HIV in his bloodstream anymore at this point. How's your health? How are you just doing overall?
My health is doing well right now. I'm just taking some time out to focus on my mental health right now. But other than that, I'm doing good.
That's good.
Thank you for answering that. Speaking of your mental health and just overall, I was just thinking, like, you were talking about the cross that you bear, right? It's got to be a tough and heavy cross to bear, because it's almost as though this purpose of yours has been given to you. Not necessarily, like you didn't have to go looking for it. It's yours to bear since you were born, and this has become your life's work. At times, does this become too heavy on you? Do you consider it an honor to be sort of, a spokesperson and in the forefront educating people, or does this become heavy sometimes?
It does. I don't mind it until it comes to dating. So I have to make sure that I date someone who's like intelligent, who doesn't go with the crowd and can stand out, because you have to be very strong to date someone who's HIV positive. And that's one thing I don't like.
So it's almost like my assumption would be, maybe even finding or having conversations with people who are in the community of awareness, or in the organizations, around the organizations, meeting people. That's like a community in and of itself, right? People who like when I was taking a look at World AIDS Day, when I'm looking at the organization and the many different events that are happening around the subject, isn't that like a tribe, like a community in and of itself? And so everybody is like, we all understand here. We all understand how much the disease and the treatment for the disease has evolved. And so is it safe to say that it's like safe within that community?
Yeah, it is. But honestly, I have never dated somebody who's been HIV positive. All my boyfriends have been HIV negative. So, like, I'm anybody that knows me, I'm an around the way girl. Like,
go, Hydea, go ahead, tell them. Tell them, go flex on them.
That's not my regular community that I see every day. Like, when I go to the store or if I go to the basketball court, they're everyday guys that I'm really attracted to.
Right.
Yeah,
exactly.
and trust me, them guys, they want a girl with extensions in her hair, bamboo earrings, at least 2 pair. They want that today. Can I ask you, do you lead with that information on the first date, though?
You know what? When I started dating, it was back in the summertime, and I did some reality TV show, Love Don't Judge or something, and I had to tell the guy that I was HIV positive. And so when I started dating, I would just show all the guys that video and make them learn about it. Because I can't, like, not tell my status.
Mm-hmm.
So I always make sure that I always tell whoever I'm dating my status is.
Yeah. Well, we know right now, I mean, you could go through her Instagram. It's very clear. You are living your best life. I know right now you're taking some time off and you're like, listen, let me just chill, which we all, by the way, get to a place. I do it quite often. I'm like, you know what? Let me take a chill pill from social media, from talking to people. Like, let me just take some downtime because it is all so much information, and it's just a lot of negativity out there. So I have to do what's best for my mental health as well. So I know you're on this break right now, but it doesn't matter. If you go down her page, you be living your life. Like, I love it. You are fun. You are happy. What's your life like? I mean, I'm sure it's typical and you have a lot of friends, or are you more of an introvert?
I'm more of an introvert. I don't have a lot of friends.
Okay.
I know there's a lot of people that know me, but my social crowd is very small. Like, I have, like, 2 best friends. Most of the time, I'm staying close to my family.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so
that makes sense.
A lot of times I'm spending with my niece Zoe. She was born HIV negative, and her mom is HIV positive.
Oh, okay. Wow. Wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
So, but you were about to say something?
No.
So the curiosity that I have, you just said a lot of people know you. The curiosity is, have you ever had to battle this thing of, like, definitely like celebrity, how people want to get to know you or get close to you because you're, well known and you're on all of these, making all of these appearances everywhere. Do you or have you in your life battled that? Because you've been on television since really young. So have you had to deal with that throughout your life?
You know what? I've done pretty good. I think all my necessary friends have, like, paved the way and shown me that they're down for me. But when I started dating, there's a guy, he kind of Googled me and learned about my story. And so that was kind of hard.
Yeah.
Because I've never had that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on your Instagram right now. I see you out here at this motorcycle thing. What is this motorcycle thing you out there? What you doing out there, huh? I see you. What's going on, huh?
My ex-boyfriend, unfortunately, he passed away. He was in a motorcycle club, and so around where I live, they always go to this bar. So I go down there just to watch the motorcycles because I love motorcycles.
Yeah, brothers are getting into bikes these days.
I know.
Boy.
It's really a thing.
Harley Davidson ain't ready for us, boy. You know us. We'll take it over.
So Hadia, before we let you go, talk to us a little bit, and our listeners. What do you want people to know about HIV/AIDS, about treatment, about getting tested? What do you want people to know?
I would just ask people to get tested, especially if you have sex, because more people have sex. And I know when the epidemic hit, the condom companies ran out of condoms at one point. So we know people are having sex. So just get tested and talk to your significant others. It's a very uncomfortable conversation to have, but you have to have that important conversation. Some parents don't want to talk to their kids about sex, but you don't want them to come to you when they progress to having HIV and can possibly die, when you can simply have a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Hadia, we've talked about on this show before that I think this younger Generation Z, isn't afraid of HIV the way we were back in Generation X, because it looks as though, I know it's a stigma and all of that, it looks as though you can't die from it anymore. And this younger generation are not using condoms like we had to back in the day.
And furthermore, it almost seems like you don't hear about people contracting it anymore.
That's
so
true.
people are more concerned with other STDs and things like that. Getting pregnant, yeah, than they are about HIV/AIDS. It's just not necessarily one of those things that it seems that they're not worried about per se, right?
Yeah, so are you afraid of that? The fact that maybe the entire movement is fading into the background as this younger generation doesn't want to wear condoms anymore?
I don't think it's moving into the background because, well, I'm an HIV/AIDS activist, so I see on the forefront there's like documentaries that are coming out. I think we need to talk about it more because while people aren't dying at an alarming rate, you have to think about if you get HIV, making sure you have the proper insurance, making sure your housing is straight, because a lot of times people will be struggling, like maybe not being able to pay their light bill or their rent, so they don't really think about taking their medicine because they're worried about paying their bills.
That's a good point. And, another scary thing, and I don't have the statistics on this, but we know within our community, Black people are afraid to just even go to the doctor.
Right.
Black people are afraid to talk about sex, talk about, diseases and STDs and, viruses and so many other things. So, I'm glad that you seem to always talk about that. Just conversations. It's so, so important, especially within our community. Because, Danny, you often talk about the fact that we go first. It's everybody. Don't get me wrong.
We die first.
It's everybody, but definitely us as well. You agree with that idea?
Yes, I do.
I can hear you. I'm sorry.
I say yes, I do.
Yeah.
I apologize.
Oh, no, it's okay. So where can people reach you if they want to talk with you, book you for, speaking engagements or anything like that? Where can people find you?
You can find you on the Las Vegas Strip. I'm seeing you right now. Just flossing on the strip, girl! Flossing on them!
What can I say? To find me, go to www.hygienabroadbent.com, and all my booking information is on there. Or if you go to my Instagram, there's an email address. You can send a request through my email address on Instagram or just my official website.
Perfect. Well, again, we truly appreciate you for coming on to the Raw Report tonight. It's good to talk to you again. It's been a minute, so it's definitely good to hear your voice. I'm glad you're doing well. And as always, we thank you for educating the community, educating everybody and our listeners as well. So we thank you so much.
God bless you, Queen.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Enjoy your night.
Okay, you too.
Amazing.
I love that.
Wow.
I love that.
Really amazing.
News and traffic right now, and when we come forward, we have the question of the day.
Let's go.
It's going to be an interesting one. Stay right there. It's KBLA Talk 1580.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The FBI is helping to investigate a massive power outage in North Carolina, believed to have been caused by a targeted attack. The COVID-19 vaccine mandate for military service members will remain. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said President Biden is in agreement with the Defense Secretary that the mandate should stay in place. Republican lawmakers have threatened to delay passage of the annual defense authorization bill if the mandate, which was put in place last year, is not rescinded. Emmy Award-winning actress Kirstie Alley is dead after a short battle with cancer. Her family made the announcement on Monday, saying she was surrounded by her closest family and fought with great strength. Alley is best known for her role in the popular 80s and 90s sitcom Cheers. She was 71 years old. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Island from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network, and BINnews.com.
Need an accident attorney by your side? All you got to do is call the accident guys.
Injured in a car accident or at work? Call the accident guys. Because unlike other firms, an attorney will negotiate your case, not a paralegal.
Don't talk,
Just listen. Listening is life-changing. Life-changing. As words become increasingly weaponized and politicized in our community and in our country, sometimes it's easier not to listen. But charitable listening is an act of generosity, a sign of respect. Just listen. When we listen actively, we surrender our own assumptions and notions to make space for the ideas of another. In times of turmoil, just listen. Listening is the only way forward. Thank you for listening to KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Listen.
Central Neighborhood Health Foundation is a full-service network of federally qualified health care centers that serves local communities throughout Los Angeles, Riverside, and San Bernardino counties. CNHF clinics provide low-cost to no-cost, compassionate, comprehensive, quality health care, which includes primary care services for chronic disease and diabetes management, pediatric and women's services, preventive care, vision and dental screenings, COVID-19 testing and vaccines, flu vaccines, behavioral health, HIV, and substance use services. Virtual telehealth visits are available from the comfort of your home with highly qualified physicians and medical professionals. CNHF also provides peer support specialist training and help with housing navigation. Central Neighborhood Health Foundation. Your wellness is our priority. Comprehensive care built on trust and respect. For more information, visit cnhfclinics.org or call 213-536-5815 today to locate a clinic near you.
Ew. Stuck in a cycle of rewashing your clothes? Ugh. Because you can't remove tough laundry odor? Ugh. When detergent by itself can't cut it, use new Downy Rinse and Refresh. With a breakthrough odor-removing formula, it removes odors in one wash, better than the leading value detergent in 3 washes, keeping all your laundry fresh. Now you can break the cycle of rewashing with Downy Rinse and Refresh.
Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell. You know, the fries covered in bold Mexican spices you dip in a warm nacho cheese sauce. You could also dunk them in nacho cheese sauce or pour the sauce onto a pile of them and create like a nacho fries nachos. The thing is that you eat them with nacho cheese sauce. That's what makes them nacho fries. Otherwise, you're just eating fries and sipping on nacho cheese sauce, and that's the wrong way. Sorry, just really passionate about nacho fries.
Nacho fries are back, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
KBLA Talk 1580.
The thrill of victory. The thrill of victory. Thrill of victory. Yeah, man.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to congratulate Mayor-elect Karen Bass on her historic win as the first woman and only second African-American to serve as chief executive of the city of Los Angeles.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Bass, and welcome back to Unapologetically Progressive KBLA Talk 1580.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on the show, and this is my very first interview, and I am proud that it's here.
We are proud to have you here. What do you want to say to the listeners of KBLA Talk 1580?
I want to say thank you from just, I'm just full of the love that I felt every place I went in the community, and I just want the listeners to know that I promise you I won't disappoint you. I will be accessible. I will never forget where I'm from, and understand that is my primary motivation.
Congratulations, Mayor-elect Karen Bass, holding all leaders accountable to you.
No matter who you voted for, no matter who you are or where you live, I will be a mayor for you.
We're KBLA Talk 1580. Talk 1580. Talk 1580. And we don't black down. We've got a lot to talk about. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hello, what's your only girl? Girl, I think about. You're the only girl for me. Girl, I think about. Miss LA. Come on.
You say you love me, and I think that is true. But every night my girlfriend tells me I should watch you. Now I say I trust you, but I want you to know. I'm not a sucker. She knows it's growing Pinocchio. So now I believe in, and you know I try.
All right, baby, no more lies. Give me one more verse to that, man. Come on, let's go.
You say no more lies.
show, KBLA Talk 1580. Dr. Dre, No More Lies. One of the knocks on Dr. Dre throughout his career was he doesn't have a woman that he has taken to the top. There's some along the way. There's Michelle A, obviously, who I think his son had passed away. That was his mom, right? I have to make sure that I believe so.
I don't know.
And JJ Fad.
Yeah.
He had. Lady of Rage.
Yeah.
He had. Yeah, that's Dr. Dre. You know that? Afro Puffs is Dr. Dre on the production, man. Is that it? Help me out. I know he's produced, Mary J. Blige. We started Super Bowl. But I'm saying,
like from that era, like
who he discovered and cultivated into a major artist. He doesn't have a woman. Probably the only knock on him. Probably the only thing that Puffy has on him. Because Puffy gonna bring Mary and go, what you talking about? Puffy gonna say, by the way, here's total. By the way, you ever Faith? Yep, yeah. I'm gonna get you Faith Evans. Dre? No. Now he's got the biggest hip hop artist of all time.
Yeah.
Not a woman.
That's a good point. Who is our West Coast woman?
Woo!
Do we have any who are like?
It's got to be Yo-Yo, but
still though, like who's still?
There
you know
hasn't
what I mean?
been a new one to step up. And
like
take
out
the
of
time.
the East Coast, you can go Nicki Minaj, you can go Cardi B. You know what I'm saying? You can go Remy Ma. You can, man. We don't have anybody in the West Coast representing.
Sweetie's from the Bay.
Nah, that ain't
that
it.
ain't gonna cut
that
it.
Ain't it.
I'm trying here. You asked.
Oh man.
There is no female in hip hop, or even R&B for that matter, that is coming in and taking over the game. Is it?
I don't think so.
Is the West Coast dead again?
Well, I'm not gonna say that, but women, yeah, and there are a lot of like undercover, rap artists who are women from LA, but we need somebody to blow up. We need somebody to take them and do what they do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we don't have anybody like that. That's unfortunate.
Why hasn't Kendrick grabbed somebody?
A woman, right?
A woman, female MC.
Yeah.
Who's that female on that song of his on the album where they're going back and forth? Have you heard that song? It's an aggressive song where they're arguing.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Who is that? I don't know who that is.
Taylor Page.
Taylor
What about her?
Page.
She is a monster.
Could she do it? Yeah, but is she doing it? I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe there's something to come. I don't know.
We need somebody to come from Kendrick. I mean, he has J-Rock. J-Rock is great. J-Rock is really great, but he's also not popping right now.
I got the artist.
Uh-oh.
Ooh, who?
West Coast female?
West Coast females.
Ooh.
Who that?
Cam and China. They're twins.
Yes, the twins. Ooh, yes.
Don't know them.
They're fire. They are West Coast.
I love that.
Oh my goodness, they go hard for LA.
You got to give me a song at the top of the hour. I'd love to hear something.
Yeah.
Because I'm all
That's
for that.
a great call. That's a great call.
Wow. By the way, real quick, idea really impressive.
Yes.
Really impressive. Yeah. And again, for you to be born in that condition to say, I'm going to use this illness to inspire others is everything.
Yeah, I just, I think one of the most powerful things ever is just the fact that you've been walking in your purpose since you were a child.
Literally since birth.
Literally. And since she's been given a platform, she's done nothing but create awareness surrounding this disease, HIV and AIDS. And I've never heard her be negative about it. As tiring as I'm sure it is, as it's like a daunting task because it's such a big thing. And it's like asking the question, do you think we'll ever see the cure in our lifetime? But so it's daunting in like that, to that magnitude, right? And the fact that she never gets any, from what I know, maybe it does hit her at home, maybe in solitude and things like that. But, her outward demeanor whenever we talk or whenever I see her, it doesn't seem like she's ever negative about it. Like she doesn't complain about it, and I think that is completely admirable, because some of us who found our purpose in our adulthood get tired, and we complain, but she's been doing it since her youth. So Very, very impressive.
You think you're that strong?
I'd hope so.
Wrong.
That's very strong. I'd hope so. I think that I am. Different type of cross to bear. That's a different type of cross to bear.
You
know?
are judged by everybody you come in contact with. The minute they find out that you're HIV positive, their entire demeanor changes about you, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
it's human behavior. And to be honest, you can't castigate people that feel that way. It's been embedded into us since the 80s, you know? I mean, I grew up in an era to where if anybody was HIV positive, you're gay. It was the gay disease. And then it kind of morphed into everybody's out here just sleeping around with no condom. But that stigma still remains.
It does.
Here in 2022.
It does. And it's just from a lack of knowledge, a lack of information. People, it's that whole thought of, I can't even touch you. You know what I'm saying? That's what we used to think back then. People, you would think we can't even touch someone who has HIV or AIDS because you don't know, right? You don't know. I mean, it's like childlike mentality. You know how children are naive in so many ways. And it's like, I get it. Just because you aren't aware, you don't have any information. And that's why I think it's powerful that we've come so far at the same time, because now we are much more aware. Now, it's funny, the motivational moment is also going to come from Hydea. So I just think it's powerful to the conversation that we're having right now. So I'll bring it up again at the bottom of the top. I guess it'll be at the top of the hour, but I'll bring it up again because it goes to this conversation about having the information or not.
It's funny you say that, because I remember I asked you last week, was she coming in? And I bet you, to me, I don't trip on that stuff. I'm going to hug you, I'll kiss you, the whole nine, I bet people on YouTube will go, Danny's touching her?
I don't know about that.
You don't think are we past that point yet?
I think so. I'm not going to say there aren't ignorant people out there.
Hell yeah, there's a lot of ignorant people out there that wouldn't want to touch a person that's HIV positive for some reason.
I just think that our listeners are smarter than that.
Listeners are. Hope so.
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we have a lot of who the community is who listen to our
You mean the
show.
ones defending Kanye West? That community, the smart ones?
Anyway, let's move on with the question of the day. So obviously, and this is something we have not really dug our teeth into right now, but TJ Holmes, who you talked about last week, TJ Holmes, and how do you say it? Amy Roback?
I think Roback. Amy side piece. I think it's her.
Okay, we'll go with that.
I think.
Well, apparently now it's been reported that they've been taken off of the air on GMA.
Good.
Okay, after their relationship goes public. We all know the behind the scenes. She's married, he's married, and the two have now I'm not going to say they publicly came out. It's just publicly come out that they have been having, I guess, I don't know how long of an affair, but they've had an affair. And turns out there's some information on TJ Holmes that he had another affair just a couple years ago with the woman, and it was for about a year. And she no longer works with the network, and she was also married. Her relationship was in shambles, and I guess she wound up being divorced while his stayed intact, or maybe semi-tact, right?
No, his wife said that. I thought we were trying to work on our marriage.
Yeah,
Quote from her.
I'm just saying that it remained intact, being that they did not get a divorce at that time, right? Well, now they've been reportedly taken off of the air. How are you feeling about this? Because the president, the network's president, Kim Godwin, said that basically it's a distraction now, both on air and off air. And so can that be, so you obviously agree because you just said, you said good. Is it fair? Should they be suspended completely now? Or you think, what is the point in taking them off air?
I think that until there's some finality in their situations, you have to take them off the air.
In their relationship together?
Get divorced. You and I have talked about that before. I don't have a problem with inner office romances. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you find your love within the office. Sure. It's all good. But you're both married, okay? Mm-hmm. If you want to be with someone else, divorce the person you're with and go with that person. I don't care. To try to do both and try to force your beliefs on us, it's unfair. And it's really unfair to a network where they may have signed some morality clause of some sort saying they can't do that. Can't have both ways.
Let me ask you a question, because I know we have to we're going to move forward in just a minute. But I do want to ask you this question. What if, hypothetically, they have, or either one has had some sort of arrangement or deal or something with their spouse, and we don't know it as the public? We can only see what we see, and we're passing off our judgment like it's wrong, you should get a divorce, you should X, Y, and Z, but they have had some sort of talk or communication or arrangement with their spouses. Then what?
I'll answer that on the other side.
That is a fantastic segue, Danny Morrison. It's KBLA Talk 1580. Stay right there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles. From middays to nighttime. Like George and Wheezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Will Smith opens up about the infamous Oscar slap. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. As a guest on The Daily Show, Will Smith opened up to Trevor Noah about the incident with the Oscar host and comedian Chris Rock at this year's Oscars. Will Smith, who won his first Academy Award later that night, was promoting his forthcoming film, Emancipation, when he spoke with Noah about what life has been like since the shocking incident.
That was a horrific night, as you can imagine. There's many nuances and complexities to it, but at the end of the day, I lost it. And you just never know what somebody's going through. Not that justifies my behavior at all. We just got to be nice to each other, man. The thing that was most painful for me is I took my heart and made it hard for other people. I understood the idea where they say hurt people hurt people.
Yeah. I'm Maisha Cairo, and that's your K-Black Minute News.
You're the victim of a car accident. Who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP Accident Attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm can be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call on me, your MVP.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
Roll Charmin Ultra Strong when you drop in the beat. It cleans with way less effort on your seat. Yeah, roll it, drop it, yeah, roll it, yeah, drop it. Charmin flows extra strong from the road. Your butt hella clean while you're sitting on the bowl, yeah. It's all you need for that bathroom groove. Get you in and out without nothing to prove.
Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to unsheltered individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net, and together we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, man. Oh, we got Venti Mocha on the phone. We'll come to her in a second. I'm sure she wants to talk about TJ Holmes.
Yeah, well, I definitely asked you a question about it. And I wanted to know if they had arrangements with their significant others, their spouses, within the privacy of their own home, of their own relationship. Is that okay? But here we are on the outside judging and telling them, you're wrong, you need to get a divorce and X, Y, and Z. How do you see that?
This kind of takes me back to the Kyrie Irving situation. Your beliefs at home, what you subscribe to is your business. Mm-hmm. No one cares. You're not allowed to force that on the workplace. You're just not. And if they had an open marriage, both of them, which they didn't, obviously, if they did, that's fine. You're not allowed to walk into the workplace and grab a married woman and start a relationship out in public. They showed that video. He was slapping the old girl on the behind when she was putting the groceries in the trunk. I said, TJ, out here. TJ is out here. And he had a 3-year affair with somebody that worked there before. It's like, come on. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have an office romance. It's all good. Find your love. But while you're single, do that. That's all I'm saying. A single man or woman should be able to do whatever they want. But y'all both married.
Okay.
And you put that network in a tough spot.
Yeah, the network is in a tough spot, although from what I understand, they did not breach any of their contracts. I guess it's just the optics of it. That's the big problem.
It's uncomfortable.
And the distraction. Everybody's whispering around the office and that type of thing. But you say keep them off of the air until they finalize whatever it is that it's going to be. So if you get a divorce, or at least separate, because divorces probably take some time. I'm sure you can't keep them both off of the air.
File
that entire time. Just something you want to see some forward movement.
If I was the I don't know, producer or what have you, I don't know, whoever pulls the strings around that place, I would say, what are you guys going to do with your marriages? Are you guys getting a divorce? I turn to TJ. Are you getting a divorce? I turn to her, Becky. Is that her name? It's her Becky. Her name's Becky now.
It's Amy.
Well, that's worse.
Okay.
Are you getting a divorce? And I will look at both of them. File today.
When is it crossing the line between their business and not their business?
Whose business?
The network or whomever, the executives or president.
The minute you sign that contract, it's my business.
Your personal,
your public
/
personal / home business.
Oh, I don't agree with that.
I'm telling you, no, you sign that morality clause inside that contract. What you do outside the building impacts us in this building.
I hear what you're saying, but but like I said, so if it's not within their contract that they are breaching their contract by by having a relationship, within the company or whatever, then. To me, then that says, okay, then that part is just off limits.
True. If they were both single, this isn't a conversation.
Clearly, right.
Let's say that TJ Holmes and Becky were both single, but had an OnlyFans page where they were having sex in public. Off limits?
If they created an OnlyFans page.
And they were having sex in public on OnlyFans together. Both single, though. Off limits? The answer is hell yes. Yeah. Because that's not the network's problem that you want to be freaky deaky in public. There is a certain morality that they want, the tone of morality that they want to continue with their network. And they have the right to do it as a private organization. If you don't want to adhere to their rules, go work somewhere else.
Wait, so you said that it's not their business?
No, I'm saying that
it is their business.
The minute you sign on the dotted line, they can determine what they feel to be moral or immoral. They have the right to do that. Same thing happened with Kyrie Irving, by the way. So if you don't want to adhere to their rules, go work somewhere else. Zeus is hiring.
That's funny.
You don't do that.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
No.
Let me move forward with this because this is a conversation we could actually really, really, really delve into. We just don't have the time. But while I can, let's just give you the motivational moment that, again, it's going to come from Hydea Broadbent. It's very quick, simple, and to the point, but I think that it's just powerful, and it goes to the conversation that we were just having a moment ago. So this is Hydea speaking at an event, I guess you would say. She was a motivational speaker for. And so let's go ahead and take a listen to that.
My mom always taught me there's two types of people in the world. There's an ignorant person and a stupid person. You can always educate the ignorant person, but the stupid person, you're just going to have to let be stupid.
And amen and amen. Do you hear what she said?
That. Say that again.
I'm going to play it again because why not? She says, my mom always taught me that there are two types of people in this world. There's ignorant people and there are stupid people. Ignorant people you could always teach, but stupid people you just have to let be stupid, right? And so it was. Okay, sure. It goes to the point that we were talking about earlier, where just in regards to people being ignorant and people just being stupid, right? Now, if you choose to be stupid and you know some of this information about HIV, AIDS, you know that we've evolved, you know that there's treatment, you know that you can't contract it by touching someone on their skin. If you know that, but you choose to remain dumb, choose to remain stupid and act, a certain kind of way, then that's on you. Then we just have to part ways or not, deal with those people. But truth be told, yes, Idea is living with this, but we all encounter stupid people from one angle or another, some way, some shape in our lives, like we all do. But for those who want to be educated, I say, shout out to those people who want to learn, who want, to get more information so you can deal with people accordingly. Just, I think that's just a beautiful thing. So I want to shout Idea out once again for not only the motivational moment, but for sure for coming on to the Raw Report today as well.
I thought she was absolutely fantastic, and I love your motivational moment. And we just have to be more receptive to learning. Sometimes we stuck on stupid, though. I'm talking about us black people. Let's keep it real up in it. Sometimes. But we just got to learn, We got to be open to learning and to being better and treating everybody with respect, regardless of what they're going through. And just because somebody is HIV positive doesn't mean, they were out there screwing around with all kind of people.
Yeah.
She was born with the illness, y'all.
Yeah. How scary is it that as a community, just like I know, just because of friends that you may have or the conversations you've been privy to, that people are so afraid to even talk about it with someone they are engaging in sexual activity with. People are afraid to talk about it when it comes to your own body because you don't want someone else to be uncomfortable. That's such a strange. I get it though. I know what it's like to be very, very, afraid of having conversations or uncomfortable conversations, period. So I get it. But when you think of the grand scheme of things, you're like, listen, my body, my life,
right.
That's just a weird thing to not talk about it because you're afraid to make someone uncomfortable.
No, screw that. Forget feelings.
Yeah, exactly.
No, you got to put it right in their face. That's why I love the fact that she said first date. Yeah, I let them know.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. And then, that's the other thing. I mean, again, because she is out there and she has been out there since the age of, whatever that was, 5, 6, 7 years old or something like that. I'm sure she has to let people know, but good for her that she's still educating. I saw on YouTube, they're like, she's still alive. Absolutely. She is alive and well. And just, keep her in your prayers. Keep her in your prayers. So
here's a hypothetical. You can answer on the other side, a twisted hypothetical, but you know how we do. Ask most men who they would want to have one night with. Any female celebrity, name her. They would probably go for your Beyoncé's, they might pull a Kim Kardashian here and there, you know what I'm saying? They would say, that's who one night. Now you say to them, but she's HIV positive. You still in? What percentage would say, yeah, I'm still in?
Oh my goodness, that is twisted. But I'll answer on the other side.
I want to hear what you got to say. Because I think that most men would still go. I do. 1-800-920-1580, Danny Morrison Show, KBLA, stay there.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Island, and here's the latest from the Black Information Network. The FBI is helping to investigate a massive power outage in North Carolina, believed to have been caused by a targeted attack. The COVID-19 vaccine mandate for military service members will remain. White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre said President Biden is in agreement with the Defense Secretary that the mandate should stay in place. Republican lawmakers have threatened to delay passage of the annual defense authorization bill if the mandate, which was put in place last year, is not rescinded.